I started working for a company called CS Wood. My uncle got me the job when I was 15, and when I was 19, I ended up going on a LDS mission. While I was on my mission, the company got sold. The new owner asked my uncle if I was going to be coming back, and that was the plan, that I'd come back and I would work for the new company or work alongside with my uncle. When I was on my mission, there was a speaker that came and helped us set goals. And they said not just goals for today, goals for tomorrow, and goals for further on in your life. So at the time I had a Franklin day planner, and I wrote down, Kevin, it's your goal to one day own CS Wood. How's it coming? And I flipped it like 2 years in advance. That goal was always a driving force, always in the back of my mind that this is what I wanted to do. From then on, I've always had that passion that woodworking is what I was going to do. So in 2002, the opportunity presented itself that I was able to buy CS Wood. We had some existing customers. I was a project manager at the time, and those customers I had great relationships with. And so before I bought the business, I went to them and said, hey, if I buy this business or I go into business, will you support me and let us keep doing your millwork packages for you? The two largest ones definitely said yes, and we actually are still doing their work today. After buying CS Wood, I came to realize that I couldn't keep the CS Wood name. That's not what I bought. I bought the assets. So I had to come up with a name, and Mapleleaf came to be because of my mission, which was in Canada. So our customer base was from retail space, commercial, grocery stores, bookstores. We were sophisticated enough at the time that we had a CNC. We were using CAD software, we were using Cutlass software, we were using programming software for the different equipment. And each piece of equipment was uniquely different and needed a unique different program. So our customer base, we were able to maintain most of our customer base, which was custom in a sense that they were going all over the nation. So we had to modify almost every different location, and we had to redraw every single location for the different customers, and then also for the different equipment. So we saw that as an upcoming challenge. It wasn't a challenge at the time, but where we wanted to grow and develop more customers like the ones we had, we needed to have more of a streamlined process. Again, at the time, we were using a CAD software, a Cutlass software, a programming software, and we were entertaining ways that combine all of that. And we looked at quite a few different softwares that professed to do that, or that they said they could do that. And we met with them for months. It was a long process trying to figure out the right one. And we did decide to go with Microvellum. And a lot of it was that it brought all those pieces into one program. We're learning one software. It met all the boxes that we needed checked. The downside is the learning curve for Microvellum is pretty big, and you have to be committed. You can't do it with 1 foot in and 1 foot out. We decided if we were going to go with Microvellum, we were going to be committed, and so we really just cut off all access to other softwares that we were dependent on at that time.
I was working at another cabinet shop when Kevin actually called me. I was doing Microvellum for another place, and they had just got it. I think it was back in 2004, somewhere in there. and they asked if I could come over and help train some of their new guys. That's kind of where it started for me with Mapleleaf, just helping them out to learn very, very basic beginning stuff and get them started. I've always thought Microvellum was the most impressive software that was available, and I committed to it. And like Kevin has said, it's all in or all out. And I think I've always been all in with Microvellum, so I've always tried to find, my niche in Microvellum or where I fit. And Mapleleaf was going down the path of not only just learning it, but learning it for their desires and their needs. And I felt like, that's where I wanted to go. I wanted to be a part of not only learning that, but learning how to make everything better for Mapleleaf.
We also ran into the same situation with our equipment. Our equipment was only able to take us so far.
They had an old CNC that was really rough. And then Kevin did get a new CNC, and we got the tool file, started writing to that one. Everything was going good.
We transitioned from a dado shop to a doweling shop, brought that equipment in just to make our product better and more reliable. And then with that, all of those transitions, we saw that the potential to repeat our fixtures, standardizing them, making them parametric, became a lot easier. And our design process, we could offer more. Our customer base went a little bit bigger, to where we were doing stuff nationally. Now we're international. And it kind of all goes back to those decisions that we made to be more, to be not restricted and limited. And now not only are we not restricted or limited, but our customers aren't either. With Microvellum, it allowed us to go from a 2D drawing, trying to explain to a customer what this is what it'll look like. Now we can offer them a 3D rendering, and what you see is really what we get.
When I used to work at another company, you would draw in AutoCAD, and then the detailer would pick it up, and he had to just assume that you wanted that hole there or this hole there, or is that line of holes in the right place, or that kind of thing. Are the dowels really there? Because they're just seeing a 2D flat lines, and they take it and they have to physically add the machining. Basically, now you're having to read the guy before his mind. What you're seeing is what you're physically getting out of Microvellum.
I don't need to send it back through a cut list program. I don't need to send it back through a rendering program or a programming software.
And the minute you hit go, that's what's going to go to the machine. So there's no secondary stuff. I mean, that's just how I see it.
With our exposure to Microvellum and our relationships with other companies that are using Microvellum, we were a part of the Microvellum advisor group. That gave us another opening to its capabilities and helped kind of direct Microvellum to what our needs were, what we would like to see, and what we needed. From our experience, they listened. Actually, they're a part of Mapleleaf's core. Like I said before, you have to get it all in, and we're all in. And I feel that Microvellum is also all in. From that point on, we were able to grow, and we saw that we were growing a little faster than we had anticipated. It's always good to have those relationships with your equipment supplier, your software supplier, and other wood shops. We also, in that growth process, joined AWI.
Microvellum is really good. I think as far as doing shop drawings, 2D and or 3D, depends on how far you want to go. AWI does require a certain amount of, for lack of better terms, they have their own rules that you follow. And I think Microvellum does a good job of providing you with all the necessary items you need to do that. Obviously, we do it different than most people probably would do it. We have our own set of our AutoCAD templates that we use, but it all really aligns real well with Microvellum because we're using what they're giving us and just adding the bits and pieces that really fill the gaps for AWI needs. And that all comes right out of AutoCAD and Microvellum.
I needed something more, and so I joined the AWI Best Practice Group, which is a group of other cabinet owners from all over the country that you're not competitive with, that you can share your experiences with, share your pitfalls, your struggles. So being a part of the AWI Best Practice Group, it's really strengthened us, and it's given us some broad experience through other owners and through other shops. All people that I rely on, I could call in an instant anytime I needed them. And that was a huge step for me to realize that I'm not alone in this. Some of the struggles that we're facing are not unique, and some of the other struggles that they're facing, I was able to share what we'd done to overcome it. Being a part of the AWI Best Practice Group, it has given us more resources that we can use to better who we are. Looking back now, if we wouldn't have made those key decisions to streamline, to consolidate with software, equipment, and really relationships, I know that we would not be on this growth pattern that we're on now.
When I look back, I think the real relationship started way back when they just hired me to do the training. And that's really what hooked me. And I just haven't been able to get away from them since. Not that I'm trying.
I do think that relationships is what it's all about. My relationship with my uncle got us started. My relationship with my customers have kept us going. My relationship with our employees, the people that you work with. We even have good relationships with current shops that are here locally. That is really what I hope Mapleleaf is a relationship-based company that happens to do millwork. There's no reason for us to slow down. There's no reason for us to be complacent. We have not tapped the limits of Microvellum. We have not tapped the limits of our AWI relationship, and we have not tapped the limits of our employees. And we're not done. We're looking forward to growing again.
The growth is happening right in front of my eyes.
There's no stopping us.